Hi. So most companies have four B2B client acquisition roadblocks. The very first is you don't have leads. If you are stuck here, you're probably targeting markets like USA or Europe. In India, this problem usually does not come because in India, cold calling still works. So if you're targeting Indian companies, you can hire five people and get one really good cold caller that helps you set up those meetings, right? So this problem is usually in USA or Europe or Australia or tier one geographies when you're targeting outside India. Then the third roadblock we have meetings. We have the meetings sometimes with the right person or a little less than the right person. The meetings are of bad quality. They don't have the budget, they don't have the authority, banned. The lovely framework. So they don't have the budget, they don't have the authority, they don't have the need, they don't have the timeline. It's called bad quality. And the last problem is you might have few nice meetings, but you're not winning. And I'm going to talk about how to solve all these problems. So the agenda of today's presentation is four parts. One, what one thing, if solved, will rain you leads. Second is what one thing can make leads 5x easier to close. The third point is how do you fight in a non-USP world? That means there is no unique selling proposition. I doubt if any one of you have a unique selling proposition. I don't. OpenAI of ChatGPT does not have a unique selling proposition. They are just first in the market. Cloud is catching up with them. Gemini. You put out anything, copy ho jayega. We fight in a non-USP world. Then you have my mistakes. So when you're doing something, you will make mistakes, and I have made all the mistakes. And towards the end of the presentation, I'm going to tell you all the mistakes, which is a must-watched part of the presentation. So the way we're going to solve the problem of less number of leads, especially if you're targeting outside India, or even if in India you're targeting very high level of people who do not pick up phone calls, then how do we solve it? Using AI agents. I'm going to show you a demo and how you can set it up. The second thing is how do you make leads easier to close? So we'll talk about how do you set up lead nurturing using automation. So I have this thing. I ask this question for me a lot. Okay, if I had to give everyone a personalized consultancy, which let's say I charge $500 for, everyone personalized consultancy, how would I do that? So for example, Shish targets creative people. So how do I say, okay, for creative companies, this is your target, this is the kind of message you should send, this is the one. But I should be saying it, not a copy paste message. But I सबके लिए तो नहीं कर सकता. How does AI help with that? And I'll show it to you. Everything will be shown. Then we have how do you fight in a non-USP world? And the answer is effort. You show that you put more effort, but we do it in a smart way where you deliver the work product, which is kind of free. I'm going to talk about it. It's very interesting using AI. So you will providing personalized work using AI for free even before a person has have had a chance to have a meeting with you. And last but not least, in all all my mistakes, I'll also cover like the rule of thumb, tech stack, what you should use when you are targeting US and you're a SaaS company, cold calling, etc. So in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how AI has started to do these things. So very first thing is how AI can scrape all your prospects information, and not just their LinkedIn profiles. Of course, that is there, but a very advanced level of information that you might want to put a virtual assistant on, or you might were thinking to put a research assistant, or maybe a salesperson was searching that information. Then how do we find that custom information? And how do we then craft a pitch in the perfect English, which is very relevant to that prospect? And last but not least, how do we automatically send it out? So all of this AI can do, and it can be automated. It does take you initially to set it up, but once you set it up, you're not dependent on intelligent people to run the process, because all of it is done not by a person, by via software or AI. And then of course you can scale it to 5,000 prospects or 50,000 prospects. So I'm gonna quickly jump and I'm gonna share a demo. I'm using this tool. This tool is called Clay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one prospect that might be a good fit for me.
So let's just say I target SaaS companies, uh, companies in India. So let's just take, I saw ChargeB. So let's say I want to target ChargeB. So let's say ChargeB, and I want to target the CMO. Okay, because I usually sell to the CMOs or the CEOs, and I found this guy. Okay, so let's say this is the person I want to go after. So now what I'm going to do, I just have their LinkedIn URL, and as you can see, anyone would can have their LinkedIn URL. I'm going to take the LinkedIn URL, I'm going to put it in the software called Clay, and there are many softwares like this. I'm going to tell you all the softwares, and as you see, it will ask me to click to run. What it is going to do is, and it is gonna scrape all the information of the prospect I have given, and of course it's gonna consume a credit that I have. Now what will happen is I'm gonna take all this information and I'm gonna put it into AI. So we're gonna wait for 10 seconds for it to scrape the information. Also, just I want you to see, what I want you to guys to see is who can do it. So if you have one person just to find the right kind of people, you can just keep putting them over here and you can see a lot of work can be done over here. So as you can see, I've gotten all the information of this person. I'm gonna also scrape the information of their company. So I'm gonna also scrape their website. I want to figure out what's on the home page of their website. By the way, I also have it. If you want to see the, if you have an issue, you can go on insights.bizams/consultant, and on this page you will see a video over here where I show it to you in a much more elaborate fashion. And as you can see, I've scraped all the information on them. Now I'm going to use my AI that I have. So the key thing with this AI is I have worked really hard to craft a prompt and train the AI, what we call fine tuning the AI, using examples to craft the perfect message for them. As you can see, I just pressed a button and it came up with a message. But basically, as we know, ChargeB, let's just see what ChargeB does. Unlock a lifetime of subscriber growth and retention. So it's basically a revenue growth management platform. Great. Let me show you what they have figured out. So, hi guy, targeting CFOs and VP of finance in SaaS and subscription based models is becoming tougher as it identified the right target market that ChargeB is targeting and what kind of companies they're targeting. And let's see what it says further, because you are not just competing against the competitors, it knows what competitors they compete with, but also financial management platforms like ERP system vendors for the same piece of the pie. So you're saying you're competing with a lot of players. So can I share custom strategy on how you can solve this via demand generation AI? And if you see, I'm not asking for a meeting, I'm saying, can I share a custom strategy to you on how you can solve this problem, the problem I have identified, via demand generation AI. And what I'm showing you is demand generation AI. So, but this goes so much further. Uh, if let's say I want to send him an invite note, let's say he did not reply to my email, I want to send him an invite note, and let's say I want to follow up on the email as well. So I've even crafted. It goes on, as you can imagine. It goes on. So if I'm sending him an invite note, in the invite note I can say something like, uh, targeting subscription based businesses needing automated billing, right? Solutions, I can help, reach out to them, let's connect. It's a very short, it is in the limit. And if you see the follow up message, because I said I'll share a custom strategy. The follow message is, hi guy, the strategy PDF contains targeting who SaaS companies with more than 50 employees in developed countries with high search traffic, because companies with high search traffic usually they have solved the traffic problem, they are usually solving the monetization problem. So US based subscription models with over 1 million annual visits and PPC spend. So can I share a custom strategy? So now the guy is like, okay, send me the custom strategy, because he knows about my target market. As you can see, I do not know, I just click the button. But as you can see, for them, hi Sheila, the target market is completely different. So it understands all of this stuff. So this is what we do. Now, if you are like, how can I do it? It's very simple. And many companies, people will like, okay, which tools are you using? So the tools I'm using are, the very first tool I'm using is Clay. But don't go, you need to onboard Clay. You should, But Clay is just a category of software. What the new category of software is AI agent. Okay, and there are other competitors other than Clay that you can subscribe if Clay does not work out for you. For example, Persona does a similar thing. Perplexity has started to do a similar thing. Actually, the website name is Agent Hub. Okay, um, but Perplexity also works as an AI agent. I'm going to show you in the next slide. Then is OpenAI. So the message creation is done using a large language model. And of course, if you can't use OpenAI, you can use Gemini or Claude, and there will be many other competitors going forward. And this is what I'm saying, like focus on the second line, not on the above line as much. Of course, go do these because these are top one right now, but understand the concept. And then the last tool I use is called Lagrowth machine. Why? So when I create a message, what I did not show you is, so when I create the message, what ultimately happens is I sequence it. I automatically send that message. I click a button and it goes into a tool like Lagrowth machine or Lemlist, and it automatically sends the email or the LinkedIn message. So I'm from creation of the message to sending of the message. And if you want to know about more tools, you can go to a website like coldiq.com/tools, or you can go to AppSumo if you want lifetime deals, which is a website I go to a lot. And this is a website I go to just to find which new marketing technology is going on. So let's move forward. So you might be asking, oh, Akshat, you just gave me an overview, but explain stuff to me. Here we go. So basically, AI agents, you want to ask the question, what information? Let's say if you're selling to someone, if you're selling to 3PL companies, companies who have warehouses, or if you're selling to chemical companies, you need to ask, what information do I have about them that will help me understand what situation they are in, so that I can write a better cold email or write a better cold LinkedIn message. So basically, AI agents is what info can I find on my target prospect? And an example of this is Perplexity Copilot. So Perplexity, if you have not used, I can show it to you. But what Perplexity does is it does the work of Google, but it think rather than you reading Google, the Chat GPT reads it and gives you an answer. But it goes through 50 links or 8 links or 10 links. So for example, a client of mine wants to, let's say, target this company, ST is forwarding worldwide. And so he wants to understand what services do they provide so that he can better personalize his message. So if you put a question like this, it will give you an answer that, okay, they provide customized shipping solutions or warehousing. So now what this person can do, it can train its AI to say, like, if a company does customized shipping solutions, say this. Versus if a company does warehousing, say this. Or if a company does all three, say this. So it can go and it can answer big questions that initially you would have put people like a manual person to do it. Um, and also it can also ask, okay, where does all these STs forwarding worldwide has its warehouses? So it can say the warehouses are in, I don't know, some places in US. Okay, you can even ask some very difficult and technical questions. For example, how many pages of research are published related to micro LEDs? So it will tell you approximately this many pages of researches or is there on micro LED. So now you can take this information, and if you're pitching, let's say, research, you can say to the person, say you are like you are doing work on micro LED, there is this many pages of research that has been published, it will be difficult for you to go through all of this, we can do it for you. So these are some example. It can also help you identify very core people. So let's say if you want to figure out who is the vice president of, let's say, some of global services and support in Lenovo, so it will give you the answer, whoever the person is. If you're selling to SaaS companies and you want to understand what is their pricing like, uh, normally you would not be able to find it. They will not publish it on LinkedIn. So someone needs to manually go on their pricing and find the pricing and then use that pricing to identify what do I pitch to them. But these AI agents can go search the internet and give you the answer. Okay, what is the annual production of BASF plants? So it will give you the annual production of exact annual production, and then you can customize the message, and I'll show it to you how also. So if you want to understand what does these AI agents are? So AI agents like Perplexity or Clay Agent, what I was showing you, or Auto GPT, is basically a brain with Google. So rather, currently you just had Google with just indexed information, but now you have a brain that actually gives you an answer after reading all that information. The good thing is that this is what AI agents can do. AI agents are goal seeking, and this part of brain is why one of the reason why you pay people a lot of money. In knowledge work, you're buying people's brain, and as AI improves, uh, and has access to the internet, it can do anything pretty much that can be done sitting uh, behind a desk. So, but the key point over here is give a maximum of one task in one prompt, because something weird happens. Otherwise, LLMs, the large language models, compute gets divided, or something happens, but the result is not as well. And by the way, this also happens with human too. If you give a human multiple tasks, they sometimes bomb. um, so the point over here is like in human, the division of labor in AI prompting matters. So you can do something called chain of thought prompting. Chain of thought prompting is, rather than saying, okay, write a good blog post on how to crack US market in India using AI, I would rather go and say, okay, I'm an expert in AI and I'm expert in marketing and cracking US market. Which audience I should write it for? What do that audience care about? What is the best way they would consume content? And then I go down and figure out, okay, in a blog post, which format will work better? And then that's how I go through a process to basically come out with a better outcome, because then you have used more kind of the brain power of AI. So basically, what AI agents are, they are equivalent of unlimited cheap virtual assistants and researchers that work behind a desktop. Key thing is, like, these AI agents are goal seeking. You give them a goal, go find this information, and they understand the goal and go find the information for no money and give it back to you, which is basically what a best human researcher does. Okay. What a best human researcher, if let's say I ask you to write an email to Mark Zuckerberg, uh, so, but the key thing over here is, what I will say is, give maximum of one task in one prompt, or basically the LLM's compute gets divided. What I mean by that is, if you give multiple tasks in a prompt, what I have seen is the result is not there. Maybe the compute gets divided, or maybe the communication error is there. But usually, if you give one task in one prompt, you have a very good high level of success. Basically, in AI, also, you're doing division of labor. So, but the key point over here is give a maximum of one task in one prompt, because something weird happens. Otherwise, LLMs, the large language models, compute gets divided, or something happens, but the result is not as well. And by the way, this also happens with human too. If you give a human multiple tasks, they sometimes bomb. Um, so the point over here is, like in human, the division of labor in AI prompting matters. So you can do something called chain of thought prompting. Chain of thought prompting is, rather than saying, okay, write a good blog post on topic X, let's say, write a good blog post on how to crack US market in India using AI. I would rather go and say, okay, I'm an expert in AI and I'm expert in marketing and cracking US market. Which audience I should write it for? Okay, what do that audience care about? Okay, what is the best way they would consume content? Okay, and then I go down and figure out, okay, in a blog post, which format will work better? And then that's how I go through a process to basically come out with a better outcome, because then you have used more kind of the brain power of AI. Um, so basically, what AI agents are, they are equivalent of unlimited cheap virtual assistants and researchers that work behind a desktop.
So, what goal-seeking AI agents is what a best human researcher can do. So, for example, if someone asked me and say, "Okay, write an email for IMAX," so I don't know what to look for and where to look. I'll go on the website, I'll see what to sell. So I look, because I'm an expert, I'm a research person, I know what to look for and where. You also know what to look for and where for your prospects. This is why a marketer can't do your job and you need to do your job. Okay, you know the best in what should I look for in a prospect, and then you have to map it out. then I will just combine all relevant information. Right? So I will have a bunch of information. I'll have information, let's say how many train sites you have. So if you have, let's say, the vice president of sales in the company, my case will be very different versus you have no person. I have a very different pitch. Okay? So I know what to look for, data, I know what to combine. Then what I do, I go through a reasoning process. Which thing is more important? Right? And based on that, I come to a process, and based on that, I make a conclusion. Right? So this is one process. आप कोई भी process उठा लो, human being का जो मुझे लगता है not the best, okay, but this is basically the part.
And this is what basically, rather than individual AI agents, these goal-seeking AI agents can be combined to do. So, for example, there could be an AI agent that understands the job description of your target company. So, if your target company has put out a job of operations, it will find that job, it will understand the description, and it will tell you that information. And now you can use that information to make a pitch. Then there could be someone to audit the tech stack. Which technologies are they using on their website? It can audit that and give you that information. And then, did this person go on a podcast? Because if you, let's say you're targeting less companies, let's say if you only have 500 companies in your market, you're probably doing account based marketing. You probably want to set up a podcast and invite them on a podcast. So then you're researching, like, do they go on a podcast or do they go on a roundtable, whatever they do. So, but now the good thing is, like, this is an individual AI agent, one that has a job, that has a goal to identify, okay, what is the KRA. The good thing that happens is you can combine them. Okay, so do they have this tech on the website, and what is the job description for them they are hiring for? Then most likely you will understand. Okay, so you will combine all the conclusion, and based on that you will find the right next step, and you will digitalize or customize the digital output, that is a document, a email, a message. Okay, and then you will execute and report in perfect English, and this is all can be done via AI. I showed you a little peek, but we are doing this very easily. So what a team does is, a junior agent or a junior resource combine, these are like junior resources, it gives all the information to a lead agent, a lead brain, if you say, uh, and then they go to the next work, and this all can be done using AI. So the bigger question for you, for CEOs or CMOs, is what should be the job description of each AI or human? So if you see, your human is divided into a lot of tasks, especially for prospecting or marketing. What work is better done by AI? Because AI is cheaper than humans in India also. Leave US, even in India. And so, for example, if I give you an AI scraper that can scrape any information on the internet and combine that information, the question is, what information to ask from the AI agent that is actually, that you know is valuable to your prospect. And once you have that, combining all that information, what message should you send? And if you have 20 data points you get, based on that, what message do you send? Because if you know, if you can write it out, these are 20 points I read, and based on these points, this is the message I send, we can train an AI to craft that message. And what should be the sequence structure be? Like, on day one, a LinkedIn message should go, on day two, a email should go. Maybe both should not go together because it will irritate the person. Or maybe your audience is primarily on email and not much on LinkedIn. So you have to figure those things out. And if you want scale, you can hire a consultant like us. I can build you this whole AI model. I'll put it, operationalize it, and we'll transfer it, everything to you in-house. Okay. So this is what I call a basic 1, 2, 3 workflow, and I'm going to show that to you. For that, I'm on Clay. What I need to do is I need to create a new spreadsheet. So I'm going to click new table, and I'm going to say, normally any custom table, it's a random table that I'm building, and I'm going to do the 1, 2, 3 workflow. What 1, 2, 3 workflow is, I pick a company I want to target. So let's say that the company, now I want to target, again, I want to target, let's say, ChargeBee. This was the company, ChargeBee. I want to target chargeb.com. Okay. Now I want to do one thing. I want to understand how this company has helped other people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to browse enrichments, and I'm going to put AI agent over here, and you can see the AI web scraper. I'm going to put my own API key, and I'm going to say, give me details of 2 case studies on how how this company in the name has helped its customers. Okay, and in the model, I'm going to use GPT 4.0 because that's the best one, latest one. I'm going to turn off the auto run and just save. So I have one company and click to run one company, and I'm trying to find 2 case studies. Okay, I'm gonna add a different company as well. Let's say I want to add bizance.com. Okay, and I'm gonna find this. Now what I want to do is, based on this case studies, I want to say how can my software, so let's say I am selling Perplexity, for example. Let's say I am a salesperson of Perplexity. So I'm going to say go to browse enrichment, I'm going to say GPT, because so generate text, chat GPT, and I'm going to say write a email to this company telling them 3 ways on how, let's say my company is Perplexity, right? Perplexity.ai can help them. Act if you are a salesperson of Perplexity. So this is a very simple thing. One company, 2 case studies in this, and you're a cold email copywriter. I'm just going to put it like this over here, template. And again, I'm going to use GPT 4.0 and press save. Okay, and I'm gonna press this. So now, as you can see, I have picked one company, 2 case studies, uh, and then it found 2 case studies. The case studies it found was, okay, it helped a company called Freshdesk, that you might know of. It helped a company called Study.com. I also wanna give them based on this information. Okay, I'm gonna put the information quotes backslash, and I'm gonna case study details. I'm gonna put the result, right? I'm gonna save and run. So currently, if you say, I'm gonna press it play again, press play, and now you will see it in like 5 minutes. It will create 2 custom email for do 2 different companies, and this is without training. Imagine if I spend 10 hours on this, we make it very super solid. So let's say if you're selling to Perplexity, it's saying, hi, observed that Perplexity has been instrumental in helping companies like Freshdesk and Study.com. Great. It has personalized the message, scale their billing operations and customer base efficiently. So what I have done is I've changed the prompt a little bit, and this is where the part is, you put, as a CEO or a CMO, you put the effort in the prompting part. So one thing I've changed is write an email to this, again the name of the company, telling them 3 ways on how Perplexity AI can help their business. Keep the email under 100 words and have bullet points only. Based on this information, understand their business. Now I'm gonna rerun it, and the key thing is, like, sometimes all 3 points are not good. Maybe only the 1 point is good, which is fine. We can fine tune it and just pick 1 point. So, for example, leverage Perplexity's advanced AI capabilities to provide real-time, context-aware support for complex billing inquiries, enhancing customer satisfaction. For example, there was a time in India when RBI changed its credit card rules, right? So at that time, I think most customer care agents would require internet access to actually understand what's happening. So the advanced thing with this is, with the task I give my client, the very first task I give to my clients is write an email to get a reply from 2 of your biggest prospects, right? But you have only one shot and you can't do follow up. So imagine your 2 prospects take their LinkedIn profiles and you have to write 2 emails. The reason for that is because if we have those 2 emails, we can train AI to write those emails for you. How we can do this? I will show it to you. So the very first thing we do is we map your workflow. Whoever you are, you're the CEO, you are the co-founder, or the CMO. So when you are going through it, just take a pencil and paper and note down what all things are you looking at. Are you looking at their recent post? Are you looking if they have growth in their company? Are you looking at how many people they have in their department? Whatever the thing is, just write down what you're looking at why, and then you figure out, after you have taken down all the points, how did you prioritize the data points, and why did you pick this data point for this prospect versus why did you pick job growth for this company Why did you pick the recent post for this company? Which data did you pick for which reason for a particular prospect? How did you come up with the pitch? So after you note down, of course, you will have a different pitch for person A, you will have a different pitch for your prospect B, right? And note down like why did you come up with this pitch? And then of course you write the email or the cold email. Of course you can send it out. But this part is important because I tell you, this 4-step part is very important because we are trying to map the founder's process to write the highest impact message, right? And why the founder? Because the founder or the CMO or whoever the leader is knows the product, the market, and the lingo, the language of your industry, of your function, of your department, who you're selling to, right? So this is what we are doing. And once we map your workflow, we can then this part 10 AI agents can do, this part LLM can do, that can do some reasoning, and they can LLM can come up with this pitch. Now it will not be 100% as good as you, but it will be 80% there. But it will be 80% there for 100,000 prospects. You will be able to do it for 2, AI will be able to do for 1,000,000. So when we usually, if you work with me and you onboard me as a consultant of yours, the very first thing you get is what we call a CXO training, AI lead generation messages, in which I show you what are good messages and how, and there's a videos on, for example, how to make and read a AI prompt, how to make how to make training data, aka few short prompt engineering, crafting the first message, etc. And these are very short videos made for CXOs so that they can do this process, so that they can map their workflow process, because I can't do it and you just have to do it once. But once we do it, you are done pretty much for a long time. So this is my framework for writing emails. So imagine you are a consultant and you're writing an email to Elon Musk. Now how will you write that email if you're writing to Elon Musk? You can pause the video, and going forward I'll be going very fast, so please pause the video the moment you have a thought. Let your thought exercise, because I'm going to give you the answer, so you will miss out on that opportunity. So for example, if I was doing it, I would start with their unique problem. For example, with Elon Musk, a unique problem for him would be tariffs or import tariffs in India. So my first line, if I'm writing, is my first line will be like cracking high import tariffs in India. The person knows, okay, this is something I'm struggling with, and the person knows the problem because I've read the news, I understand the problem, etc. And in the second line, I might say that like I want to show that I or know the problem or the core reason behind it. So I can say the reason for this problem is this minister, whatever the thing is. Okay. And then towards the end, I'm gonna have a very low friction but a high value call to action. Like I will not I will ask him like, do you want to know more about this minister or how you can solve this problem or something on that lines. But I will not ask him for certain things. For example, I will not have a meeting request in the very first cold email. I'm not going to say, hey, can you come on a 15-minute or a 20-minute call where I will show him my presentation. I will not do that. Okay. And there's very low chances he will reply to that. And also, I will keep the message very short. I'll keep it under 60 words and basically 3 lines of total. So 20 words in each line maximum. And of course, I will not be pitching case study. I will not say, can I send you a case study? No, he does not care. I need to make something very custom for him. And by the way, this is what you need to do for all your prospects. And of course, there will be zero jargon because he knows more stuff than I do. And you can change it. For Elon Musk, it might be different. For Jeff Bezos, for Mark Zuckerberg. But when you're writing the 2 emails, if you have this in mind, you will write the best quality email. And then we can get AI to replicate you. So you remember the big question? Now this is the biggest answer. So based on the founder's workflow, the AI scraper, what information you will look at? News. Because in your industry, you will look at certain information more. In certain industries, the websites are never made. Most of the information is available on a government website, or most of the information is available on news website, or most of the information is available on LinkedIn. I don't know where your information is available. So you want to figure out what information to ask from the AI agents, because you will find that information on your prospects. You will have a list of them. Then you will also have the answer like what message you should be sending, right? And last is how you should be sending it. What will be the structure? Like when you're emailing, of course, you might be emailing Elon Musk first, but if he does not respond on 3 emails, you might be sending him a LinkedIn message, or you might be sending him a post. But whatever the thing is, when you're doing this activity, you'll figure these answers out. So here's the thing. After you do all this thing, this is a little bit can be demotivating, but this is a reality. This is why businesses or outbound stuff. All of this will just get you positive replies, aka leads. So when we do it on LinkedIn or email, well, we get a lot of replies, but these are just replies. They have not set up a meeting yet. They have not done 3-4 meetings with us and they're not ready to buy yet. I have to go through a long process to get them to buy. And that is where I'll go after. So let's say you have leads, but your leads will go cold, your leads ghost you, they do not reply, or there are no good meetings. This is a common issue that happens. And here's the very interesting thing about my business. So my best clients come from inbound, and this is why I'm recording this video, because I am in an industry where it's knowledge industry. So what happens is, the way people judge a person is by knowing how much knowledge he has, because I'm a consultant, and the way to show that is like books or these presentations. Even though you might get this video in a outbound email, but without this video it will be it gets very difficult for me to sell to a prospect, especially a cold prospect. So the way it works for me is, personally, so they usually come from a referral or a content. So someone refers them to me, or uh, I or they usually come from a YouTube video, but they got the content or a referral from an outbound prospect. So maybe I gave someone a presentation and they recommended me to them, or I sent them a cold email, or I sent them a LinkedIn message somewhere else. So they of course don't know me, but I did the outreach somehow, and then I shared some piece of content where they're like, okay, I'm not talking to a completely stupid person. This person knows something. So that means outbound creates inbound. My best clients come from inbound. It usually starts from outbound. So, and my goal personally, going forward in the next 2-3 years, is that all my meetings are from inbound. Even though I'll never stop doing outbound, but I want all my meetings are outbound after they have consumed at least 1 hour of my content, either on YouTube or on email or LinkedIn. Somewhere they have consumed, and they're like, uh, they value my time when they come on the meeting. So the way for the outbound to inbound flow is like, once I get a positive reply from a cold email, I want to gain mind space. So what happens is, when you sometimes reply to a cold email or a LinkedIn person, you reply and you forget. And this happens with prospects a lot. They forget what they reply to. So instantly I want to send them something that gains a lot of mind space, so that they remember me, so that I start so that I can build that mind space, so that eventually they buy from me. Then I want to educate my prospects to build trust, because I want to act a little bit like a teacher of them. Why I'm trying to being a teacher of them? So that they trust me a little more. And whoever, I need to track all this, and I want to figure out which prospects are engaged, so that I can call them for a meeting and probably try to pitch my services. So the way to get a positive reply or cold email, you require AI, like I showed you. We did using Clay, and a human person or a manager. Okay, you need a person. Getting mindspace with new prospects can be pretty much fully automated using a CRM lead nurturing workflow. Uh, and last, educating prospects to build trust. Also, this can also be done using AI, and I'm going to show you an example very quickly. So every time a prospect comes to us, we make them a PDF. So let's say there's a company, Frugal Testing, reply to us. So we used AI to basically craft a very personalized document, which we called as a outbound strategy, and we're talking about which companies they should go after, which roles they should go after, and we picked a link person who they can sell to. By the way, this is already their client. That is why we picked them, because companies really care about their own clients. Okay, and then we put a template, uh, actually a work product that we would have created for them. We actually did it for free using AI, And of course, then there was other documents and a link to book a meeting with us. The reason I'm doing it is because it's very rare when you have someone, it's very rare when someone sends you very personalized document that they have invested their time into. So that when I'm sending this document, every time I send this document, I know people are like, okay, this person have invested his time to make this personalized document for me, and this is what I'm trying to do. And this is, so when I get a lead, so these are all the leads I have. So some leads turn into a client, but I keep a track for who did I make the AI message. Like the key thing we help companies is crafting the AI message that gets you replies. So we kind of create it for free, and I approve it, and then we record a video. I don't record a video; someone else records a video, showing that this is the PDF we have created for you, and this is how you can use it. And the reason we are sending it, because the person like, okay, this person put a lot of effort, and we are showing our, trying to show our face also.
If I had to say, if another way to look at it is, if your prospect wrote you a check of 5 lakh rupees and said, you have 5 days, make me a presentation I can consume in 5 minutes, and अगर अच्छा लगा I'll repeat. So he's giving you 5 lakh rupees. आप कितनी रिसर्चेस में presentation बनाओगे? जैसे इलॉन मस्क वाली एक्टिविटी की थी वही करोगे? एक बार कर लो, AI can do it for everyone. तो अब हर क्लाइंट को 5 लाख.
And on which platforms you have sent it. So my ideal way is to do sales before the meeting. So before the sales meeting, I'm trying to do some level of sales or some level of trust building so that my meeting is easier. Okay. So as you can see, this is my Loom dashboard, and you can do it. You don't need to record videos. You can also do it, create a PDF, and AI can create that PDF and send it. But we have to fine tune the AI to make a great message. As you can see, someone else from my team has recorded this video for different companies and basically sent it to them. And we can use this for the next 1 year, because when we are sending this video, the other person understands we have invested our time into it. So they at least owe us a reply, or they don't at least mark us as spam, because they know I requested some information from them and they put a lot of effort. So most people are good in nature and they want to reciprocate. So, and but why are we putting so much effort? Because another reason is because 99% of the prospects almost never reply to a meeting request on the cold email. So if I go and email you and say, do you please come on a meeting, or can I book 20 minutes on your calendar, you will ignore me. You don't know me, you don't trust me. But if I say, can I share you a custom strategy? Can I send you a custom strategy? You're like, yes, of course, send me a custom strategy. You're not asking me for a meeting. All you need to do is write a message, yes, and then all work is on me, which is fine, because all work is not on me. I have AI agents to do my work, but I will give you a very personalized work output. Also, in order to open a dialogue, we need to entice the prospect enough to reply by providing value upfront. That means when I'm providing value upfront, if the value is good, the prospect is like, oh, this person actually. Recently, what happened with me was a client said to me, Akshat, I was trying to build a campaign, and I replied to your message, and you sent me a PDF. So the work I was trying to do was already on my desk, and I was blown away. That's why I'm on a meeting with you. So, but of course, that work I did not do. I understood my workflow process, and I trained multiple agents. I built a sequence of agents. One gave work to another, and finally the work output came. But it took me like 2 weeks to build that workflow. And also, what happens is prospects forget cold email, like I said. Hence, we want to give them a reason to remember and reply to us. And in the if you remember, I said this is a non-USP world. So the key thing over here is effort. Like if we are putting in the effort, this is the USP. Like other people will have similar stuff, but we have put in more effort. So next big idea is, so I've crafted Mindspace, and which is good. And the person has replied to me, but person is not ready to buy right now. Maybe he wants to buy after 7 months. I don't know. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have a 24-month, what I call a big idea nurturing flow, which is an automatic drip that I make once for 24 months, so that every time a lead comes in my CRM, one email goes to him every month, because I will get busy. 3 months later, maybe I have so many clients I don't have time to do any marketing. but I will not be able to engage my leads. So I want to fix that problem and create a sequence before that. So this is what happens. So anyone who's added to a cold outreach sign up, that means I did a cold outreach and signed up for whatever stuff, like asking me for the PDF. Then I send them a video, I send them big idea 1, I send them big idea 2, and I keep sending them. Like you see, the delay is 720 hours. So I keep sending them one email every month so that they remember me. And this email is not salesy. This email is to educate them and give them value and insights. Um, but you might say, okay, so do I need a 24-month nurturing program? And you can answer it for yourself. My question is, how many once interested leads in your CRM are still engaged?
They were interested in something related to you. Are they engaged? नहीं, क्योंकि आप जैसे हो गए. Happens. We have to embrace that we are human. है ना? How many are saying no? Why did you lose them? Because we did not embrace. So we run in feast and famine cycles of marketing. बड़ी companies नहीं करती, छोटी companies करती हैं. We do random act of marketing. So embrace reality and set it.
So I have to embrace it. That I have to embrace that this act of marketing is random. So I need to do it in such a way that I do it once, but it give me results for the next 2 years. Because after 2 years, I know something in the economy might change, and I might have to, or new technology might come, and I have to go back in the market and start prospecting again. So the to-do work for you is how to go about nurturing. So write 12 outlines. I'll show you how it works. 12 outlines for email. So let's say you can send one email every 2 months because you're maybe starting. Write a hook, write a core middle, like what should be the core, and write what will be the takeaway. And create these 12 emails so that you can send one email every 2 months. Because every 90 days, if I'm not wrong, the email list goes stale. So it's good if you send at least one email every 2 months. Otherwise, many email softwares will mark your subscribers as unengaged and will maybe not send it to them. Also, why we are writing this nurturing sequence? Because we are trying to impress the prospects by helping them with great insights. So if you sign up on any if you just become a lead of us, you will also get a nurturing sequence. So what you will see, we have put so much value in the nurturing sequence, and we're not selling anything, but we're educating the people, and in a very crisp way. Our very short emails, very to the point, no bullshitting, because we're trying to impress the prospects uh, with some great insights that they can do use in their business. And you can automate them. There are many tools like SendFox have an automatic sequence. You can use MailChimp, you can use HubSpot. Any almost email automation tool will do this for you, right? And this is what it looks like. So I have a bunch of topics, and I write what is the takeaway CTA. That means what I want the prospect to do after reading this. Like I want the prospect to tweak and test offers, test pricing bundles and outcomes. How do I want to start this email? I write, like, I want to start by email by saying to the prospect, like, how many propositions do you say no to? So this is the idea. And the middle part is that B2B buyers are rational and skeptical decision makers. And I have done this for a lot. So this is how you can start with in a spreadsheet, and then you can flesh it all out in a document. And yes, it does take time. Uh, this is it will take at least a month for you to do this all work. It is hard, I understand, but this is what is needed today to actually make sales. So connect the dot, connect the data. So basically what happens is, like, we use sendfox to actually sending these automated emails out. And what we do, sometimes we can connect our HubSpot, or if you're using a Google Sheet as a CRM, so whenever you get a new lead in the CRM, it automatically goes in the sendfox or an email automation sequence to basically start the email sequence. So what I'll suggest you is take a month, write a crisp and evergreen 12 to 24 step email sequence, and chill after that. This is my advice. So part 3. So part 3 is you have meetings, but there's low meeting volume, or there's no good sales. So the 3 common reasons for low meeting volume is, do you have a good cold caller? If you have a good cold caller, what will happen is the people who are engaged with you, when this person will call and their tonality is good, this person will be able to convert them into a meeting. So, but a lot of meetings are converted on a call. The appointment is set on the call, though the lead is generated on email or LinkedIn. Second is, do you understand the sales situation? So what sometimes happens is, when you go on a sales call, don't start presenting. Have a step sequence of at least 5 questions that you ask on the call to basically understand the person's situation better. And also, so that when you're sending them a follow-up message, you can mention those points. Like we commonly would do is, like, we ask them, what is your goal? And then they tell us the goal. And when we are doing a follow-up email 1 month after, when they're stopped replying, is we're like, hey, are you still, are you still gunning for that goal, or still wanting to achieve that goal? And they don't remember us, but they do remember their goals, right? And then this is how we personalize our follow-ups. So for that, when you go on a call, understand the sales situation, understand which situation they are in. And do you nicely follow up once every fortnight? You have to follow up once every 15 days. Even the old leads, if you stop doing once every 15 days, because every 15 days things change in business, so they might be ready to buy 3 months down the line. But you have to make sure when that happens, your salesperson is in their inbox as well. This is what it looks like. So we mentioned the company name over here, and we asked them what got you interested in the call. They mentioned this. We asked them what is your ticket size. We asked them what is your target market, and they say this is the target market of what they want. Like they want to only target 500 plus employee size companies. They only want to target CTOs, CMOs. So, and based on this, we personalize our pitch and the follow-ups. And when, okay, so if you want to hire a cold caller, so let's say you're doing all this and you want a caller to call and set up a meeting, you can have a Google form like this. And when you are asking people to do the interview, before the interview, ask them to fill this form. In this, you will ask them to basically share a recording. So you give them a script and you say, uh, basically share a 1 minute mock recording for the following script, and then they give you the recording. You listen to the recording, because the main thing with cold callers is their tonality. The way the cold callers work is, they don't know very much about your prospect or your subject matter expertise, but they're really good on phone. They have a good tonality. They are very fast at pursuing people. They don't back off. They have some X factor in them. They talk fast sometimes, or they match the speed of the prospect. So you want to listen to that in the voice recording. And then you have other questions like, are you comfortable working at night if you're selling in US? Which CRM have you used? How many meetings have you booked in the last company? So basically what will happen is, most leads won't convert into a meeting without a great cold caller. So that all the leads you have, great, you would need a caller to call on those leads at least once a month or once every quarter, so that all those leads will actually convert into meetings. And what will happen is, if the lead is engaged, that means you're nurturing them using sharing your insights via email drip sequence, and maybe they're watching your videos, they're just engaged, then it is a 80% chance that your meeting will be nice. If your lead is unengaged and the person, you get the person on a meeting, only 20% of the meetings will be nice. So they will not know about you, they will be very skeptical about you, they will ghost you. So you want to basically engage the lead. So this is the timeline expectation. So if you're starting with outbound marketing, this is the timeline expectation I would want you to have. See, instant lead generation is possible. So if you start working on lead generation today, by next month you will start getting leads. But if you're going in US, maybe in 3 months you will start having leads. So instant lead generation, if you have a great offer, is possible, but not instant client acquisition, because you need to build trust. Okay. Um, Basically, so you can start getting leads from month 2 or month 2 end, depending on how difficult market is. You can start getting meetings from month 3 or month 4, depending on, again, how difficult your market is. But you will start getting sales from month 3 only, month 6 only. And this is assuming you are doing good lead nurturing, because the leads that you get from, let's say, in month 2, if you are nurturing them, then only they will convert into sales. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Some will convert into sales, but most won't. Um, and it will convert into a lower ticket sale. So So basically, a closed deal is a fruit whose seed you have planted and constantly watered for 3 to 4 months, or if you're in a difficult market, 3 to 12 months. So this all thing, basically, you can do instant lead generation even if you do LinkedIn ads or any kind of marketing. So this applies to everything. So instant lead generation is possible, not client acquisition. So plan your budget according to that. So many companies will come and say, I want banned qualified leads. Uh, See, you can enforce qualification or qualification questions only on inbound leads, but when you're going in outbound, we are the one asking the meeting. So they are coming on the call saying that, okay, you will tell me something, will you teach me something? But they are not willing to answer a lot of questions, right? They understand they have the power and you don't have the leverage, which is fine. So you have to plan accordingly. Second is, in outbound, you don't have the leverage as you're trying to generate a need for your sales offering. So this is why it's called demand generation, so that you're sending a cold email that entices a thought, you're nurturing that thought over multiple email sequences. And then when you're coming on a call, you are trying to ask certain questions to get them to understand that they have a need. So in outbound leads, you are trying to generate a need for your sales offer. The need is not there, unlike inbound. Okay, but when you're doing B2B, you have to do outbound, otherwise you will never have inbound. You Every B2B company does outbound. So most salespeople are actually order collectors. This is what I say, with 3 follow-ups. They do 3 follow-ups and then they say the lead is dead, which is not the case. And they want every salesperson, like, I want banned qualified leads. Like, they should have the budget, authority, need, and timeline. Uh, but these salespeople sometimes get too good. They never put on a blazer. Even if they go on the calls, they sometimes never putting on a blazer, which shows they're not actually really invested in the sale, or they don't show themselves as a very professional person. Especially when you're selling into the US, you look like a brown guy in a basement. Okay, uh, so it's better to at least present yourself on a call so that people trust you. Okay, uh, so basically, most salespeople are ordered collectors with 3 follow-ups, and they want banned qualified leads because they don't want to do any work. They just want someone comes on a call, they answer a bunch of questions, and they buy. Right? And founders also want that, but the market is very tough. Everyone is tempted by $1 billion valuations of these SaaS companies. Everyone wants to build a SaaS company, so marketing has become tougher. And if you are not able to see that, there is an issue there. Okay, and also you need 24 months to follow up and close a cold lead. Sometimes this is how long it takes, but you should plan for this, because you will be running your business for at least 2 years. So you don't want to be in a bad situation even after 2 years. My AI mistake. So AI is still a machine. So the person behind the machine matters more. This is mid 2020. So with AI, one problem I did was I did no division of labor. That means I tried to have one prompt to do 10 kind of to do 3 types of task. It does not work. If I have to do 3 type of task, I sometimes need 6 prompts to actually get that 3 type of task done. So this is how AI works. You're not looking sometimes when using API, which you will use in Clay or other tools, and if you're working with us, you should look at the pricing, because sometimes not looking at the pricing versus results affect you a lot. For example, GPT-4 is more expensive than GPT-4 Turbo, which is more expensive than GPT-4o. But GPT-4o has good results and very low pricing. So you want to understand the pricing of these tools when you're using API, because if GPT-4 costs you 5 rupees, this costs you 3 rupees, and GPT-4o costs you 2 rupees, this is a 2x increase, and multiply it for, if you're running, I don't know, 10,000 prompts, that really scales up. And basically delegating critical thinking to GPT. So GPT can't do a founder's work, founder's hard work. You have to do your critical thinking yourself. Revenue realities, I wish I understood. So bottleneck in delivery will create bottleneck in sales. So in your services business, this will happen. In SaaS business, this might not happen. Or you bottleneck in operations or finance, whatever the thing is. Next thing is, you will have negative cash flow many times. So embrace it. Build systems and marketing habits. Build systems so that even when you don't have the money, your marketing is somehow working, or you have engaged leads prior to that, so that you can harvest those leads when you are in a crisis. Build systems and marketing habits to keep 100 leads engaged in your pipeline. Inbound leads. So inbound leads, the great revenue generator, they are the best leads, but they are a result of outbound distribution of great ungated content. So this is, like I'm telling you, this video is kind of ungated content. um, and many times a lot of people come, like, we wanted someone who knows what they're doing, and it's very difficult to identify from a website. But when we saw your video or when we saw your presentation, they're like, I think you could help us. Last problem is stopping marketing and lead engagement today. So if you stop doing marketing or you stop doing your lead engagement today, your your decline has started, whose outcome you will see in 6 months. So basically, see, marketing takes 6 months to ramp up, but it also takes 6 months to ramp down. So if you stop marketing today, you will see the results after 6 months, not instantly, because your previous clients will go on, etc., etc. So don't stop marketing. Uh, Sales and marketing investment. So my best investment was to set up a 2-year long auto nurturing email sequence that kept your CRM contacts engaged. So this is the best investment even you can make. Second, an educated prospect is a great client because he understands your process. A unnurtured prospect wants magic. So in our case, so we are in marketing. Marketing is a bit inherently risky. It can work, it might not work. It depends how your market responds to your offer. So that element is there. In that case, we need a lot of help from the client's team to understand, to do a bunch of stuff. And if the client is unnurtured, they want us, okay, Akshat, I will write you a check of 2 lakh rupees, get me 100 leads tomorrow, and it will not work out. A educated client knows what it takes to get leads. So, and especially if I have educated and nurtured them on my process, on my experience, so then it's much more likely that they will work with me to solve their own problem. The best hire is someone who can take ownership. I think most people know that, of a department's result without follow up. Until then, until you have a person who takes ownership, until then, you, the founder, are the head of the department. So you are the Mr. CMO as well. So don't expect a agency or someone else to basically do the heavy lifting. Most of the knowledge of product market fit or message market fit comes from you. What a agency or consultant can do is scale that or systematize that. Next is the more difficult your target market. So let's say if you're going US enterprise, plus less appealing your solution. If you're going to US enterprises and you're selling cybersecurity, which is a very tough sell, the more your sales team needs to invest in the prospect. That means when your prospect replies, you need to have a done for you value. Like, we share a PDF which is very custom to them, that they can use to apply in their business. So you have to share very high level of value, and it needs to have personalization. My mistake. So not creating version 1 of messages with the client, only asking for approvals. When I start creating messages, it is not as good when my clients create the message, at least the first 2 messages. First, we used to create the message and only ask client for approval, and client used to say, okay, yes, this is okay, good to go. But the problem with that is that usually does not work in marketing. It's best if the messaging is created with the clients rather than you create the clients and just get approvals. So, not discussing the 6-month long lead nurturing with every client, just telling the clients, dude, it takes 6 months to nurture a prospect. You might generate a lead, but you need to educate them over the span of 6 months. Only then they will be ready to buy or come on a meeting. Many times companies do not come on a meeting because they know they're not ready to buy. But you don't know now, they have engaged with your nurturing email for the next 6 months. And immediately they come on a call and they buy the highest package. But you need that dark portion is not seen. Not solely targeting VPs and C-suite. So usually what happens is, if you are targeting any company that's uh, below 1000 employees, so directors or senior managers are usually a mirage. Most decision making power is still with the VPs and the C-suite. So going higher up is usually a very good idea. under investing and undervaluing cold calling. Cold calling is a great way to get people in your funnel. Cold calling is a top of funnel thing. People think it's a bottom of the funnel thing. No, it's a top of funnel thing. It introduces people to your company, your offer. They come on a call, which is great, but they might not buy. Or even if they buy, they'll buy a low ticket item because a lot of trust is missing, because even they need nurturing. Do a daily review. Depends on which is your part thing. If sales and marketing or sales and marketing is your highest priority, or if they're urgent, then do a daily review. Or it could be operations, you can change the department basically. Weekly reviews, I think this should be done with pretty much every department. So weekly reviews of result for debugging. So whatever the results of the department is, to debug where the problem is. So my personal reminder is is write a weekly email to my CRM audience or my lead list. Otherwise, I will have a negative cash flow effectively, and I'll become a fakira, like a beggar. This is a reminder I have. Quarterly review. So obviously do a quarterly review of the setups you have done. So for example, the funnel you have built, the CRM you have. Do a quarterly review, and the content that you're sending to people. So if it is still relevant today. Quick meetings to get off the ground for startups. So if you want to get very fast meetings, but please note before I start that quick meetings means that they will be low ticket purchases. They will not buy the highest ticket purchase. They will buy a very low ticket purchase because they don't trust you. They're just trying you out. Okay, uh, and your stuff better be good, or your clients will churn. So if you are targeting US and you are the founder, so the founder should reply to all your LinkedIn leads or your email leads to set up meetings, because you can talk fast, you talk their lingo. So if you get a lead, if your assistant or someone like me helps you generate a lead, the person who should be replying should be you. If you really want very fast meetings, because that just shortens the time. So initial LinkedIn messages can be sent by an intern or someone else, like I told you. Okay? In India, the founder, if the founder cold calls to set up meetings, that would be the best. Ideally, uh, ideally the founder should have email or LinkedIn responses that you can cold call on. So someone replied to you on email or LinkedIn, and then the founder picks up the phone and calls. It's a much better lead. So it doesn't matter what your funding is, unless you have a superstar or a rainmaker salesperson. You, the founder, are the rainmaker, or there will be drought. Okay, until you have someone else, salesperson or VP of sales that gets you money, you need to get you money. Okay, people can help you generate leads, etc. But unless you have it, you are the one. You are the CMO. You are the sales VP of sales, and just getting an agency or consultant won't cut it for you. This is a hard lesson many companies face. The good thing is you can go ask some of your friends who has a company and listen to their experience. So here a sales tip: if you get ghosted a lot, set up a 5-minute tentative meeting at the end of an intro meeting. So let's say you had a new meeting, had an intro meeting with a new customer. Toward the end of the meeting, say, can I set a 5-minute tentative meeting, same time next week, just so that I don't forget to follow up. Why? And why I'm saying tentative meeting? Because most of your prospects will have a commitment anxiety. Make sure you have a situation identification table. I showed you a table. I understood what is the problem of each prospect, so that I can personalize my follow-ups. So, and plan for sales and marketing engine not working for 1 year. So plan accordingly, do your networking, do your other stuff. This outbound sales and marketing engine sometimes can take a long time, especially if you're targeting difficult geographies. Okay, and here are the 10 reasons why your outbound campaign might fail. Number one, you will not have message market fit. By the way, message market fit and product market fit is two different things. For example, in our industry, most companies say, I want qualified meetings. So this is the product. The product is qualified meetings, and the market wants it. But if I go to the market and say, I can set up meetings for you on paper meeting basis, most people won't reply, because that message has lost its fit. The message does not work. The second is the leader not being involved. If you, the founder or the CMO, is not involved, the messaging will be wrong, the targeting will be wrong, things will start breaking. So the leader must be involved. Incorrect targeting, like I told you, if you're targeting junior level people, you're targeting, sometimes the people who are executing the task are targeting the wrong people. And if that is happening, your campaign, you will generate leads but from the wrong people. if you have a very high friction call to action, that means if you're asking people, hey, can you come on a call with me? And if in the cold email you're saying, can we set aside 20 minutes? It will not work. If you are saying to people, can I send you a case study? Because when you send someone a case study, you are putting the burden on them to read and understand how you can help them or how you help other companies, and then interpret how you can help their company. So if you are sending a case study, people will say yes, but people will not read it and not reply to it. Okay. And again, not having a auto CRM lead nurturing system, having no defined process for running intro meetings, not having the table like I showed you, uh, no defined follow-up process after the intro meetings, because then people will forget about you. Here's the funny thing: when you give someone a presentation, there's a very high chance within 2 days they will forget the presentation. You won't, they will. And sometimes you will see, if you are giving a lot of presentation, you will start forgetting about who you gave a presentation to. So be very careful, have a defined process to uh, keep following up, or have something to remind them about your meeting, have a screenshot or have a photo to remind them that you had a meeting with them. So again, no defined process after second meeting, no defined process for customized proposal, not having a dedicated salesperson. If you don't have a dedicated salesperson and you are the founder of the salesperson, thing would fail. And you can pause this video very quickly to think about it. So great question is, what thing if doubled would double my profit? So what is the bottleneck in the business? What the constraint is the business? Like, what if I have had two of these people in my business, my profit would double? So then that is your bottleneck, and that is what should work on. Which strategy takes me to the goal, whatever your goal is, and which strategy takes me to the moon? And this is for leaders. Which department am I not having weekly calls with? Are you not having weekly calls with the calling department or your operations or your marketing or your HR department? Because this will come and bite you. So schedule that meeting on a Friday or whatever day you want to schedule it. So the 4 problems of B2B client acquisition, how we can solve it. If you don't have leads, make sure you're constantly reaching out to 300 to 1000 ideal prospects. You can do it easily via LinkedIn or email. It's very easy. But the biggest problem is not able to hook them with a message, and that I kind of showed you. Think how you will write an email, and then try to have AI prompts write that email, or use AI agents to combine that information and write that email. I have given you some ideas. You can search on the internet, or you can hire me as consultant and I can help you. What is your call to action? So if your call to action is a high friction call to action, it will not work out. Leads but no meetings. So if you are having, why should people come on a meeting? So you should have a reason. For example, what we say is, come on a meeting and I'll show you my all how we do stuff, all our back-end process, so that you can copy it even if you don't hire us. There's a reason for people to come on a meeting. Do you have a cold caller? If you don't have a cold caller and you're targeting difficult markets, you will struggle setting up meetings. You will have leads, but you will not have meetings. uh, are you doing one follow-up every fortnight? If you're not following up every 15 days, things will go bad. If you are having meetings but our meetings are of bad quality and this is what your face looks like, you're probably reaching out to people who have less authority or who don't have a need. So no need you can still be solved, but less authority you will never be able to sell to a senior manager, because they don't usually have authority. Have you nurtured them? Because if you have nurtured them, sometimes you are able to generate a need. So make sure you have a drip sequence, and don't target just one prospect, target the whole company. If you have a lead who is of a, let's say the lead is a director of marketing. So when you're doing having a lead nurturing sequence, put the chief marketing officer in there, also put the CEO also there, so that internally if he bounces the idea of this marketing, even those people are nurtured and maybe they are like, okay, I won't, okay, let's try this thing, because I have been getting some emails and I have a few ideas on how I can make this work. What is your expectation from cold meetings? So when you are having someone intro meeting with a cold prospect, don't expect them to buy. This is a long process to go. Don't expect them they will close. Understand the situation, what we call spin, under spin selling. I think it's situation, problem, interpretation, and need, I think. uh, and take notes and make sure, most likely your leads might close 6 months later, especially if you're having meetings. But if you have meetings, make sure to nurture them. You are having nice meetings, but you're losing the deal. So it could be an offer fit issue. So sometimes what happens is, Let's say if you are selling done do-it-yourself offers, so people might actually not buy. But it's very easy to sell done for you offers. Done for do-it-yourself offers are difficult to sell. So figure out a way how you can go from do-it-yourself to done for you kind of offers. Uh, Packaging and pricing matters. How you package and price things matter. You need to experiment with that. What's the timeline of opportunity loss? So if you expect that, okay, I had a lead and it did not convert in 2 months, so the lead opportunity is gone, you're wrong. So what is the timeline of your opportunity loss? When you say your opportunity is no more, and generally, I think if you nurture the prospect, it does not go anywhere for the next 2 years. Do you follow up monthly? Do you follow up on old deals, or do you follow up with old deals? The people you had were in the proposal stage, but you come up with a new offer or a new packaging or a new pricing, something to get them back to engage with you. This is what I could help you guys. I hope you had a good time.